Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the 41st. Nope, that's not how you say it. Oh
Yeah.
no, it
No,
is
that's fine. 41st, yeah.
41st? That sounds fake.
Yeah.
But welcome back to the 41st episode of the Nifty Cauldron. That sounds like a fake word. That's made up.
No, 41st.
Damn, okay. I hate English language. Uh, one of your hosts, Milan. What up? Joined by my lovely co-host, as always.
Kelly 41st.
41st. We're probably a little bit low energy today because I'm fucking exhausted. I don't know about you, but how you doing?
I'm a little tie. Things have been kind of picking up more like socially, I guess. I actually like go out like once a week now, and
Oof, can't
I
relate.
don't know if I like it. Yeah, I don't know if I like it. So I'll probably stop doing it sometime soon because I'm tired and I just want to be left alone. At the end of the day, I do love seeing my friends. I do like hanging out and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, I kind of just realized that with the Panera Bread and the Panorama, that I am probably more of more introverted than I thought, and I just love being home and fucking mouth breathing at my computer. What can I say?
I mean, luckily for me, that is something I realized very early in life. Like, I like being home. This is where all my stuff is. I can do whatever I want, but I am in the same way. Like, I love hanging out with friends, but I can't do it too much. Like, I need that social energy battery to refill.
Yep. I feel like because I've been kind of seeing friends at least once a week, um, it's not too bad because it's only like one time a week. But like were a couple instances where I saw people multiple times, and then that's when I started to feel drained.
Yeah, like for me, especially in your situation with like work and stream and things like that, I would also definitely feel if it's already draining a little bit that
Oh yeah.
that you're also kind of like losing all your free time, right? Like,
Yes.
it,
And that's how I feel. It
yeah,
feels like kind of like when I was in school and then I'd like fucking like finish work and then have to do homework for like 5 hours. I was like, wow, all my free time is literally fucking gone, and I'm very upset about it. But yeah, I think I'll probably have to tailor back a little bit soon, just because I'm hitting burnout already.
yeah. No, that's something to be very. I mean, I don't want to say be very careful about because it's easy to manage. Like friends should understand if you're like, hey, I don't have the energy right now. Try again in a week or two, type of situation. But for me, I think you're a big part of this. Like that early in life, I realized that online friendships are just as real for me as
Yep.
IRL ones. So I can get I get most of my social contact just through like text or voice chat or video, and that is more than enough for me.
Mhm.
So don't have to hang out with people IRL. You know,
Nice.
calculated. You
Yeah.
just get friends on the other side of the world. You'll never have to hang out. You know.
God gamer move.
But also
Right
not
there.
really, because then you never get to hang out with your friends who you want to hang out with. So
This is true. This is true. Yeah. But I mean, like, I don't know. Like I've yeah, just been a little too social for my own liking lately, and I kind of want to like just sit at home, play video games, kind of thing. Especially because like I haven't really had time to play a lot of video games because another thing on top of that is like I'll have to be away from home because we're starting up events again for work, and like it also is like so it's like whenever I go and I see my friends, we typically like we all get tests before hanging out, and then we hang out outside for the most part. So and then we kind of like just like kind of chill outside and like talk and stuff like that. Or if we like are in a room together and stuff, like we try to like be apart, but then we all like get tested beforehand. So like with that, it's like I don't know. I guess it's because with like the work situation is like now I'm gonna be in a room with a bunch of strangers that I don't know and or don't trust.
yeah, because it's way different, right? Like I hate that. And especially
Yeah.
considering how loose some people are with vaccinations or testing or things of that nature, or just
Exactly, and
just
there's not a way to manage everybody.
yeah, and just
Not really.
general cleanliness as well, right?
Mhm.
Like in a room, if it comes to like food or drinks or even fucking doorknobs, anything like that, it's like people still shake hands to this day, and I'm like, can you not? Can we drop that
Yeah.
pretense? Like,
Wow. I usually give somebody like the elbow.
I
Even
just
then, I
stare at
kind of
them.
like waggle it at him. Just kind of waggle my
Yeah,
elbow. And then I'm like, okay, cool. But like, now don't talk to me or look at me. And
yeah.
then I fade into the wallpaper. I do the Homer Simpson into the bush.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's me.
No, like for
That me.
me, like early on, no handshakes was a little bit weird. Like the first couple months,
Mm-hmm.
especially in like a more formal setting, like hospitals and things like that, or when I was like talking to people about my dad's funeral. It was very weird to not do that, but now it's like, don't fucking touch me, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, at the end of the day, I'm also just not really a person that likes to touch people. So it's like not shaking hands and not like giving each other a hug when you don't see your friend for a while. I'm kind of like thriving. But like low key, I'm like, I'm thriving. But yeah, I mean, that's like my biggest fear. It's just like also I have to be on a plane. I have to get on a plane,
Oh God,
and that makes me worried because that's just a tin can of recycled air.
I forgot.
Recycled COVID air.
I forgot that I'm gonna be on a plane too next month. Like, fuck, I didn't consider that.
It's kind of anxiety inducing, dude.
Man,
Because it's just a giant tin can of recycled air, recycled COVID air, just
yeah,
getting sprayed in your face.
God, and I'm also gonna fly with like the cheapest airline. Oof, yikes. All right.
Probably just gonna pack. I don't even think they're okay. So like before, when the panorama was first starting, they were like kind of spacing the seats out. Like you couldn't get a seat right next to somebody. You'd have to like sit one seat over, kind of thing, as a way to like kind of try to social distance. But now they're not doing that anymore because people are kind of back to traveling, and then they're just like, all right, pack them full, pack them in, boys, get the sardines ready, you know. And so now they just kind of like don't really give a McFuck anymore about like the distancing and like the being safe stuff. So yeah, it's a little like
Monka.
concerning.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's Monka for me, and it's big Monka. And then
Yeah.
now, and especially because we're going to go back to that like stupid fucking haunted hotel that should be burned to the ground.
Oh, I remember that.
Oh yeah.
I'm personally not too worried about being packed because it's gonna be October and nobody goes to like Serbia in October except the people who like live there, like who are
Yeah.
going home. But it's not like a vacation time, prime time. Like, fuck yeah, let's go on vacation in October somewhere.
Oh, I know
And
for a fact my flight is packed.
yeah, like
I saw the seat
usually,
map.
yeah, like no, like usually when I go, I don't even have a ticket yet or anything like that, or which date I'm going. But usually during that time, it's very rare for me to have anybody in my aisle, like in my other two seats, you know.
Damn, that's pretty nice. Can't relate.
But it's still very anxiety inducing because it's still the same air. I have to go to the airport by train, so that's probably gonna be packed to some degree because I don't fucking know anybody who has a car that could like drive me, and I'm not gonna pay.
You gotta like double mask it, bro.
Does it matter?
Yes,
Sure.
it helps. Like if you get just like a what are they called, like KN95 masks,
Mm-hmm.
one that's like, you know, the government's like, this shit dank, get one of those and then just put like a cloth mask on top of it, and it helps a lot, I guess.
Bold of you to assume I even have a cloth mask. I just use a medical one. Get it cheapest.
I mean, that's fine too. Oh well, I mean, try to get like a KN95 and then put the medical mask on top of it. There's this one lady when I had to go to the emergency room because of my weird breathing issue, or urgent care, sorry, excuse me, urgent care. It wasn't the emergency room. My brain's not thinking good right now. Urgent care, the lady that was like doing my EKG, she was wearing 3 masks.
Damn.
triple masked up on a Tuesday, baby.
Yeah. I mean, that's good though. Like, you know, like it's a little bit silly when you think about it, but it's like, no, people should take their health and their risks very seriously.
Yeah, as someone who, you know, got COVID and almost died, mask up, baby.
Yeah. As somebody who got COVID and was barely affected, mask up.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
As somebody who got COVID and was just tired for like a month and nothing else, mask up. Yeah. But obviously my dad did pass from COVID. So it is something I do take seriously, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
The other day, I had to go to the store in town, and I think I saw like 3 people with masks. I'm like, fuck off, please.
Yeah.
Please don't do this to me.
It's super concerning. And dude, when I went to go pick up my glasses, which are the new glasses, when I went to go pick up the glasses at the store, the fucking when I went in there, only like 2 or 3 people were wearing masks, and they were the employees.
The store I went to, it had 3 employees and like 2 customers. None of them were wearing a mask. I'm like,
Monka.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, here especially so like they do basically legislation by districts, right? Or counties. And Orange County is that's where I'm from. Is very like somewhat conservative. And so because we are conservative, everybody's like, the masks are hurting my freedoms of air. And it's like stupid shit. Like whiny baby fucking real care and energy shit.
Yeah.
So we don't have any mask mandates right now because Orange County is super conservative. However, if you go to LA County, which is like pretty liberal, and just like basically 30 minutes north, they have mask mandates. They're like, you can't go into a fucking business without a fucking mask, you piece of shit. And like, you'll get fucking escorted out by security. And if you like that's how they're taking it. But it's wild that literally like 30 minutes away, it's just like a free for all. And that's why Orange County has like a way higher like COVID rate right now than LA County is, because we're also, unfortunately, the people that are a few people in this area are very like, you know, like, I don't believe in the vaccine. It's just Biden trying to chip me with 5G. And like, but at the same time, they're dying in the hospital.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't get that. It's so weird to me. That's a very American thing, in like the county being different, like the county kind of dictating things. Like over here, it's usually per province or per what's what I'm looking for. It might just be county as well, where like the government like decides what happens in this city. So some rules are different, but there's just a lot of like global things. I believe for us, stores get to decide if masks are required, or it might depend on the type of business. Like I think grocery stores and stuff like that is just hard requirement because it has a lot more foot traffic. Like I went to a jewelry store. Jeweler.
A jeweler, yes.
Yeah, there we go. I got it. I'm struggling with language today. Yeah.
English is hard.
Yeah. This is stupid. So I can understand in that scenario, like they don't really get as many people, or shouldn't, as like a grocery store. So maybe that's why they're like, masks are not required. At least they had like hand sanitizer at the entrance. But I haven't really been following our COVID regulations and mandates because
you just stay inside. You're just the room boy.
Like, literally this year, let's see, other than like ignoring the times I got my vaccination, I've been outside 2 or 3 times, if I include last week. So it's kind of like, I think I'm doing pretty good, you know. I don't care what the mask mandate is. I'll mask up anyway, so I don't have to worry, you know.
Yeah, honestly, that's kind of the best medicine, and that's kind of like where I'm at too. It's like I always wear a mask whenever I go out. But yeah, honestly, with like the I think like the Delta variant numbers are kind of going down again here specifically. And all the people that were not taking it seriously have basically already died from it. So
Yeah.
monkey puppet, but
Yeah.
kind of thing. So the Delta variant numbers are kind of like going down a little bit, but I assume that once we get Lambda here, it'll go up again, and then it'll be great because that'll be like the peak time in which I'm traveling, and I will
honestly,
die.
I'm worried about holiday season again. It's not like more so in the
It
US.
should be
Like Halloween,
should
like
be.
people trick or treating and handing out candy and stuff like that. Black Friday is gonna be probably a surge in the US, right? And then just Christmas and Thanksgiving. I forgot about Thanksgiving. Skipped over that one. You know, that's gonna be a real concern. I think that's gonna spike a lot of numbers because it did last year, right? Like right after Christmas, every country saw such a huge spike because people like, well, I'm not gonna, I can't skip 1 year of Christmas. Like, motherfucker.
If we didn't have,
yeah, like if you don't skip the one, you're gonna skip the next 5. So get your shit together. It's 1 year.
Exactly. And like people don't get it. They're just like, man, if we just like lock down for like 2 or 3 months again, we would probably be
yeah, but just actually lock down. Like
yes.
Like fuck your freedoms, fuck your shit. We're in full lockdown. This is like to preserve human life. I don't care about your liberties. Fucking deal with it. And then we can all literally go back to normal. Yeah.
And it worked out great for them.
Yeah. That's, obviously it's more difficult on a larger scale like the US, right? But just come on. Like, because this is not working. People are too selfish or too lax, or they just don't think it's real. Like, there's a lot of issues why this is not going to work out. And I feel now that we're over a year later, a lot of the infrastructure is better when it comes to like important stuff like, work meetings, working from home, ordering groceries, like a lot of those that were just like very monka, like when the pandemic hit and people were just like scrambling, I've kind of more what's the word I'm looking for, become more standard and like acceptable, and people kind of know how to deal with them. So it would be a lot easier to do a lockdown now than it would than it would have been. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's like, well, people want money, so we don't want to close down stores, and the government doesn't want to pay anybody anything, so fuck it, go out and die, I guess. What's a couple million people compared to the economy, right?
Yep. America, home of the free and the brave.
Yep. As long as you're rich. Hey.
As long as you're rich, yeah. Jeff Bezos in space, baby.
Baby.
Baby to the moon.
Fucking DuckTales team starts playing. God. Yeah. In fucking other news, because this is kind of a depressing tangent. I feel the more we go on
kind of
about it, we're just like
the world's fucked. But anyways, moving on.
Let's try and bring it up a little bit. My chair finally fucking shipped.
Bruh. So like when they gave you the notification that the chair shipped, so it was like that, so that's a fucking lie.
Yeah, so how it was at time of recording, I can't do head math right now. I'm too tired to like think ahead to like next week Sunday and then start rewind. It shipped last Tuesday. I got the email like, hey, your chair is on the way. And it said expected delivery date September 1st, which was a Friday. Like, okay, that tracks 4 days to come from another country. The country's like 12 to 15 hours away by car. So that's perfectly fine. That's very reasonable. And then TNT, the shipment company, the courier, they have five stages of shipping. Picking up the order or collecting it, being picked up, it's in transit, one more, and then delivered. I forget the fourth one off the top of my head. Like collected, in transit, something, and then delivered.
Probably out for delivery.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, that's what we have. We have like in transit, then out for delivery means that you're going to get it like that day, and then delivered is it's done kind of thing.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Wednesday rolls around, like it's still being collected. Like, all right, dude, it's one box. Thursday rolls around, like, okay, it's still being collected. Like, okay. Friday rolls around, it's supposed to arrive today, right? That day, like it's still being collected. Like, dude, it's one box. Like, Poland isn't that big, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, you better fucking haul ass the next, I don't know, 6 hours, my dude. Like, I really
otherwise
hope
you're not going to make it. Yeah.
I really hope you get a warp drive. And then, because it said like September 1st, Friday by 6 p.m. 6 p.m. rolls around, and the status changes. And I forget what the exact phrasing was, just like pending for delivery or scheduled for delivery. Basically, like, we don't fucking know when it's coming. Like, that's what it meant, kind of, because I looked it up. Like, what does this mean? It's like, well, it's on the way, but we don't know where. Like, okay, cool. But it still says that it's being collected. And then Saturday, Sunday, same thing. And then earlier today, I checked, and it is now in transit and scheduled for Wednesday before 6 p.m. So it actually skipped. It actually progressed 2 steps as well, and it's actually showing like in which depot it passed and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
You're
now
actually
it's
getting like a readout. Yeah, it's actually moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of places do that too here, or they will just generate a label, but then no one will ever scan the label so that it got picked up, and then it'll just show up to your house.
Yeah,
and you're just kind of like,
I hate that.
I didn't get a notification for this, like, kind of thing. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be. Like, I bought a T-shirt 2 weeks ago, and they're like, okay, we generated the label. I'm like, okay, and then like the label never moved. Like there was no update of like, it's moving from this guy to this guy. It's chilling in this town at the moment. It's going to be given to this dude, and then it's on its way out. It never got any update on the label, but I got it today.
Nice. Yeah,
I got it yesterday. Probably Saturday, because there's no post on Sunday, but it arrived. And then I was like, oh, well, I never got an update on this, so
thanks. Yeah,
sounds cool.
Yeah, like it's I was maybe expecting that for a chair too, that just nobody scanned it, but that's very rare. I've never had that happen. I just know it's a
super
thing.
Common here.
Yeah, it's very uncommon here. But I hate that, because I mean, at the end of the day, like I'm home anyway, so whatever arrives, it arrives. But because of the way I live my life, my sleep schedule's fucked, and sometimes I'll go to bed at like 7, 8, 9 a.m. and I hate getting woken up at like 11 a.m. by like a package. So like at that point, I would rather just stay awake until the package gets here, right? So that's why I really like knowing the time frame when it gets here.
Yeah, I mean, because I've bought stuff off of your Amazon list, and you've always asked me like, what time is it coming?
Yeah,
like kind of thing, and I'm like, I'll check, but
and then it always says like that day before 8 p.m. Like, thanks Amazon. Cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks like, for narrowing it down. I will say almost every package of Amazon that I've gotten has arrived between 6 and 8 p.m. I've never got one in the morning ever. So I don't know. Like, I don't know if Amazon, because most packages do arrive in the morning here, whatever I order. So I don't know if Amazon has kind of like a different, not priority system, but if they kind of have their own couriers even here.
Yeah.
So I don't know, because most mail here, even packages, arrive up to like 4 p.m. I would say. They can up until 6, but usually up until 4. So maybe it's like, all right, up until 4 it's our shit, and then after 4 it's all Amazon packages until 8 p.m. and then we go home. That could be a thing, but who knows? But yeah, I really always ask purely so I know, like, should I go to bed now or should I just wait an hour or two and get the package and then go to sleep?
Yeah, because I mean, I assume they probably like ring your doorbell and all the other shit.
Yeah, they do, and it's because obviously I don't sleep like this, right? So it's just always like a scramble, like put on pants, put on a shirt, go open the door, like that type of shit. If somebody rings, because packages, I don't know if you've ever had it, but some of them will like ring a couple times. They'll give it a couple minutes. I've had people like leave before like within a minute, like, well, you're at home, bye. Like, motherfucker, like I'm literally just putting on pants type of situation.
Most of the time, do you have to like sign for your packages?
Very rarely, because they'll just scan that it's delivered. Like, it's very, very rare that I have to sign that I got. I guess it depends
Yeah,
on the package.
it depends on the package here. Like typically, if it's like a shipment over like X amount of money, or if it's like electronics, then typically they
Yeah.
want to collect a signature at the time. So with that, here we have a little sign like on our gate to just say leave the fucking package behind the gate and then fuck off, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't want people ringing our doorbell because that sets the dogs off and that wakes up, the niece and everything like that. So we have like a very we have like instructions like on our gate saying just leave the package behind the gate and we'll come out and get it, kind of thing. And most of the time people listen, but there's been a few times where they don't and they ring the doorbell, and then my sister has quite literally like opened the door and like cussed them out.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it says
if
so
it woke
right
up the
there.
kid, oh yeah.
Yeah,
If it woke up the kid, oh yeah, she goes from 0 to pissed.
yeah.
And then she just opens the door and she's like, why don't you fucking read, asshole?
Which is so weird considering how she is normally.
She's normally pretty polite,
Yeah,
nice lady, but wake up her child, I guess. She just fucking goes
yeah.
ape shit. It's pretty funny. She's just
No.
like, fuck you.
Yeah. No, over here it works very differently. So, for context, I live on the second story of an apartment complex, and we have a gate downstairs. If they leave it downstairs, that's unprotected. That's on the street. Somebody's gonna take that shit. So that's not an option. What usually happens here, if you're not home and if the package doesn't need signing, if it needs signing, then they'll come back the next day for a couple times, and they're like, all right, this dude is never home, we're just dropping it off at like a pickup point, they can go get it.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't require signing, they will go to a neighbor and be like, hey, you're upstairs, or the neighbor wasn't home, would you be okay with like keeping this package? And then they'll put like a slip in my post box, like, hey, you weren't home at this and this time, so we delivered your package at this number, and you can go pick it up.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, we don't do that here. We don't leave it with a neighbor.
Yeah.
Ever, because those people will steal it too.
Yeah. I mean, usually when you order something, it depends on the website and again what you order. But they will ask you like, hey, is this okay to leave with a neighbor in case you're not home, or just absolutely not? I often get asked to store a package, like, hey, is it okay if we leave this with you? I've started saying no, because it just fucks up my sleep to get woken up by a neighbor, and like, I don't care for that.
They're actually awake at a human time,
at a normal time.
you.
Yeah, so
Unlike you little gremlin.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't want to get woken up for like a package like this size. Like, fuck that, like,
Yeah.
no, I don't care. But
Yeah, I would be pretty pissed about that too.
yeah, but hopefully, fingers crossed, Wednesday the chair will be here. That's kind of good news, hopefully.
Then you have to build it though.
Yeah, but it's a very easy assembly. It shouldn't take more than half an hour or an hour. I might have to cancel stream over it depending on when it arrives, because even if it's an easy assembly, it's one I'll have to do with like a lot of bending over and on the ground, and my hip is gonna be like, get fucked,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
might have to kind of be like, okay, like I'm fucked up. I can't really sit down anymore, type of situation. But that's kind of a by case basis. I can't say either way.
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I just hope that they gave you the tools to like build it, because I hate it when something arrives and then they're just like, but you need like a drill and like the collective will of mankind of assemble this, and you're just like, thanks, I wish you would have included that.
Yeah, I mean,
usually places are pretty good about that now, but like they'll give you like the Allen wrench, like the little Allen wrench guy, and you're like, all right, cool, like I'm chilling, like I can build this. Yeah, that's all I need. But yeah,
I know for the chair they do, but luckily I do have a lot of tools. Thanks, Dad.
Thanks, Dad. Yeah, I don't have a lot of tools. I end up having to like just borrow it from like
anybody.
Dave.
Yeah, no,
Dave.
I mean, that's still kind of the same as having it, because it's the same house, right? Type of situation. So it's not like you have to go out of your way to borrow it. For me, I have like a giant toolbox, like a huge ass fucking toolbox, you can't even if I move my camera, you can't see it. And then just then a handful of power tools, because I don't have anybody who to borrow it from. But my dad also kind of did everything by himself if it's something needed to be done around the house, and I do too as a result, because I've learned pretty much everything from him. So it just made sense that he would buy tools whenever he needed them, and especially back in the day, like, you know, this, we had money, so like, fuck it, I need this tool for this one project, let's get it, you know.
Yeah, and then you just but at that point you just start collecting tools, and then you have everything that you need, which is like what Dave has.
Yeah.
But now he's like, oh well, I need these, like I need these, and I need these, I need these socket wrenches, because Dave really likes to work on his cars, so he's got a bunch of tools from that, and that's why, like, I typically don't really need to get any tools, kind of thing, because I just kind of borrow them.
Yeah, and I mean that's good, right? Like, ideally you have your own tools, or just know somebody that you're very close to, or that is very easy to borrow from. You know, that's not like, oh well, I have to drive half an hour to borrow a power drill, fuck my life type of situation, you know.
Yeah, it's actually kind of like, it's kind of funny because like Dave has so many tools. He's got like a full on like armoire tool chest kind of thing that's all metal. And our next door neighbor, our old next door neighbor, now we have new neighbors that we haven't really met yet, but or at least I haven't, because pandemic, I don't know them. And also apparently when they moved in, they both had COVID. So we were just like, well, we're not going to talk to you and welcome you to the street kind of thing. Get the fuck away from us. But yeah, our old next door neighbor used to come over and borrow tools all the time from Dave, because Dave had like a plethora, like quite a few, you know. He has a cornucopia of toolage. And so the guy next door would always come over and like borrow stuff from us, specifically like our ladder. That guy like did not have a ladder, and so he would constantly be borrowing our ladder all the time.
I have 2 ladders. I live in a fucking apartment. Get your shit together, neighbor.
Well, he moved, so now I don't know who he's gonna borrow his ladder from.
the next neighbor he moves to.
Oh my god, actually, real shit. I think he borrowed our ladder and then took it with him during the move because he needed to like do stuff, and then he had to drive back and give it back.
Oh, well, I mean, at least he was nice enough to bring it back, and he didn't just like steal the fucking ladder because he needed one. You know what I mean?
No. He actually drove it back and stuff, and then I was the only person home because I think Jen and Dave went to like Utah. They were visiting some friends in Utah. And then I was like, yeah, so all I did, like, he was just like, hey, I have this ladder. Dave said I could drop it off. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, you texted him. He's like, yeah, I texted him, let him know I'm dropping it off. And I'm like, all right. And he said that you would help me put it where it needs to be. And I just opened the garage. I'm like, leave it in there and go.
Yeah, it's a ladder, my dude. It's not that complicated.
Leave it in there and leave, bruh. Just drop it off on the side. I'll put it away, but bye.
Yeah,
kind of thing. See ya. 100.
God, yeah, good shit. I don't know. Like, luckily, I've never had to loan out stuff to neighbors. Like, it's one thing to do it to friends, but neighbors is just always such a dicey situation. It's like, what do they, you know? I don't know. I know my mom always complained about it in Serbia whenever neighbors wanted to borrow stuff, because they would usually either borrow for a super long time or like return it in a pretty shitty state comparatively. It's like, come on, man, like, don't.
I've had that happen with books. Like, you lend out a book to somebody and they give it back to you and they like literally cranked the spines. The spine's fucked up now, or they fucking dog-eared the pages, and you're just like, this is homophobic. Why would you do this?
Yeah, dude. I've lent books one time. Well, I lent them out one time, and they never read them. Like, they were gonna read it. It's the King Killer Chronicles. It's my favorite series. And I was like, hey, you should read this. Blah blah. They're like, yeah, great. And then I kind of kept pestering them about it for like a couple of months. Like, hey, did you start reading it? And they're like,
I
no.
want to talk to you about the book that I like. Yeah.
Yeah, like, no, I haven't. And then like 6 months in, I was like, all right, if you're not gonna read it, next time we see each other, like, just give them back, you know. We don't talk anymore. I don't have my books anymore. So rip me.
Bruh, they didn't even like give them back?
No.
It's fucked up.
because we never saw each other again.
That's fucked up. They couldn't just mail it back to you?
I mean, I guess not, bro. I mean, they ghosted me, so it's kind of like, well,
Bruh, do I need to buy you new copies of the book, dude? Like, so bad.
I
So
mean,
bad, bruh.
I do want new copies one day, just to have them again, and maybe I'll
Yeah.
even read them one day. But it's not like
It's not like life or death.
no, like I've lost these books. How many years has it been at this point? 5, 6, 7 years. It's been maybe even a little bit more. So it's not something that it doesn't keep me up at night. You know what I mean? It's not like killer, you know?
Yeah. Poggy.
Yeah.
screaming in the club.
Where's my book?
You wake up in a cold fucking sweat. Just, King Killer Color books.
Yeah.
Oh.
But also PSA, fucking read the King Killer Chronicles.
Yeah, read those books, but also don't be an asshole that steals people's books.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it was intentional. At least I hope not. Like, who's gonna like slow burn for like 6+ months to steal like 3 books? I guess some people would. I don't know. It's just because they didn't ask to borrow them. I was like, hey, you should borrow these because you seemed interested when you were here. You seemed interested in reading books. I was like, yeah, you should read this series.
At the same time, though, that's not an invitation to steal.
No, it's not. But like, I don't think it was intentional. Like it to me, I imagine they just put the book somewhere in their room or whatever and forgot about it. And then when I got ghosted, it was like, oh well, whoops.
F in chat. You know what's probably worse? You know what's probably like really shitty is that person's gonna find those books one day and just be like, "Where did I get these again?"
Yeah, maybe.
And like,
I mean, if you're listening, hope you finally fucking read them. Hope you're happy.
listen here, you little bitch.
Yeah. At the very
Hope you
least,
like that book.
at the very least, read the series. Like you
Yeah.
have them now. You know they're
He
hardcover
quite
too.
literally stole them.
Like,
Stole them from me. So,
they're hardcover. Like, come on.
oh wow, bougie.
I cannot. So I am very very bougie when it comes to books. I cannot do digital books. Like I cannot read on like an e-reader or a
Monkey
tablet.
puppet.
Like cannot. And softcover because you can't like fully open it and it's annoying. I can't do that either. Like, it has to be all hardcover or nothing. So and my wallet hates that, so I don't read anymore. It's kind of the situation, right? But it used to be a case where I would buy back in the day like 1 or 2 hardcover books a week and just read through them.
Look at this little voracious reader we have going on over here.
Bro, I read through 4 books of Mistborn in like 5 days. Like when I start reading a book, if it's a good book, there's
Don't put it down.
There's 3 things I do in that day. I eat, I read, I sleep. That's all I do.
Damn.
Like until I finish the book. Like I just cannot put it down. Period.
Damn, that's some real shit.
Yeah. But, you know, a hardcover book's like $20-$30 regardless of the book. So it's like, can't really do that weekly, can't even do that shit monthly. So let's not.
Yeah. Books are expensive. That's why, honestly, I prefer to read books on an e-reader because that way I have like just a ton of fucking books at my fingertips that I can just read at any moment. And I used to read more specifically when I would be traveling for work because, you know, like you're sitting on a plane for like 5 hours. So it's like, yeah, I'm gonna get to read, you know, and I typically do most of my reading like when I was traveling. And so I was reading a fair amount, but then the panorama happened and then I decided I was going to go back to school. And then I was just like, man, I read so much for school that I don't want to read after reading. So I'm kind of tired. And then, I just kind of haven't really gotten back into reading again since school and like the pandemic, just because like now I'm not traveling. But now since I will be traveling, I assume that I will probably start reading more again because it's what I do in my hotel room when I'm like by myself at the end of the night and just kind of want to like unwind.
Yeah.
I just like read. I read to like, you know, relax and then eventually I go to sleep kind of thing.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. For me, it's just no. Like airplanes, like to Serbia, it's like it's a 2-hour flight. So it's just put some music on, close my eyes, take a nap. I'm there.
Bruh, I can't really sleep on planes.
I can sleep, ironically, very well on planes. Yeah, like just upright, just close my eyes like this. I just fall asleep.
I can't. I don't know. I'm not like a sleeper on planes. I feel like I can't get comfortable, and then I just So
Yeah,
either way,
I
I
mean,
just kind of like.
I wake up a lot. Like it's not like I'll sleep through the entire flight, but I have no trouble falling asleep on a plane. I don't know. Like I also don't have trouble falling asleep in this chair. Like sometimes I'll like take micro naps where it's just literally just cross my arms, just do this for like 10 minutes to rest myself. So in that sense, hopefully the actual chair, the good chair will help with that too. But no, like planes are just because I'm just so used to them, right? Like for most of my life, I would say up until I was like 21, 22, 23, I would probably take, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, maybe like 10 to 12 flights a year. So it's just something I got very, very used to very early on, right? Like I've flown hundreds of times over my life, so it's like I know what to expect. It's not exciting anymore. If anything, I hate flying to Serbia because I spend more time traveling to the airport and at the airport than in the actual plane. It's like, give me a system, allow me to show up, especially if I don't have any baggage to check in. Allow me to show up 10 minutes before the flight leaves, get on, and leave. Please, don't make me arrive an hour or two early. I don't want this.
Bro, that's honestly well, if you ever decide, or not decide, but if you ever start making a fuck ton of money, that's how it is if you fly out of a private airport, like on a private jet.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course, but
you literally, because that's basically where like my boss is now. It's like basically he flies out of private jets, and then he just shows up at the airport 10 minutes before he gets on, and then he gets a meal.
Yeah, like I would probably enjoy flying to an extent if it was like that, but it's just I hate airports. There's nothing to do and everything's so overpriced. I just sit there like thumb up my ass for an hour waiting for my flight, and I hate it.
Bruh, I feel that because I'm the exact same way. I'm just like sitting around with my dick in my hand, and because I want to get there early enough. I'm one of those people that I'd rather just get there early because I have anxiety about there being like a really long line, and then I miss my flight, and then that's a whole thing. That's like that would be like the worst case horror story for me.
Same.
So I just get there early, and then I just kind of sit around and like play on my Switch, or I like fuck around on my phone, like I play some like Fate or something.
Yeah.
Like,
God, I actually almost had that happen when I flew to visit you.
Yeah.
So the flight was from Amsterdam to London, and then from London to LA. So a hella long flight. I think all in all was like 15 hours. And the flight from Amsterdam to London took an hour, and then we had, I think, an hour layover. The Amsterdam flight was delayed for an hour, so we arrived when the new plane was supposed to take off.
Yes.
And London Heathrow is still the biggest airport on Earth. Like I had to take several buses to get to the terminal I needed. Luckily, however, they knew about the delay, and the plane to LA waited, and we were allowed to skip every single line in existence just to get there. So, but it was definitely like but it was definitely like oh god, I'm gonna miss it. And this was pre-smartphone era, so there was no way for me to contact you like, hey, I'm not on that flight, I need to get another one, right? That's also why I freaked out when I landed, if you remember that. You weren't there because traffic, but I didn't know about traffic. I had to wait an hour for you to show up, and I was like, oh god, did I get ghosted? Like did I get fucked, and did I come to America? I'm just gonna get stood up on the airport, like, oh no.
Traffic was just really bad. Also, because we had to go and pick you up with the only other person who had a car at the time, and the person that we basically had to go pick you up was kind of a hot mess when it came to time.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were late getting there, and then so we hit terrible traffic, and then it was like a whole fucking thing.
Yeah, like I very distinctly remember that I did have your address and stuff like that, and I was making my way over to the fucking payphones because
Yes.
and I think I had your phone number. I'm not sure about that. But I was gonna
No,
give you a
because
call.
I didn't have a cell phone then. You
Oh.
had Sammy's number. I gave you Sammy's number
Okay,
because she
yeah.
had a cell phone.
So I think I was gonna call her, and if that didn't work, I was just gonna get a taxi, go to the address. If it's a fake address, then I guess I'm taking a flight home and cry on the way back, But but on my walk there, you showed up.
Yeah, it was very 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 anxious, anxiety inducing.
Yeah. So
Because I felt bad. I was like riddled with guilt because I was so fucking late.
I mean, it's fine. Like I was just happy you guys showed up. So
yeah, you found out that we were real. We weren't trying to we're not trying to stand you up. We actually care about you and wanted to hang out.
Yeah. so in that sense, but yeah, no, that's definitely a nightmare scenario that happened, but it got resolved in a very very nice manner by both the airport and everything. So
yeah, that is kind of nice.
But yeah, fuck airports. is the TLDR.
TLDR, fuck airports, and I can't wait to start traveling again.
Yeah, no,
Sarcasm.
I'm not looking forward to my travel in October. I hope by the time you visit, the situation is a lot better because it's a much longer flight, right? Like it's a 13 hour flight, I think. So something like that. So God, I would hate that. Like as a smoker, fuck that.
Oh, I'm fine.
Yeah, I mean, I would even though I vape now, I think I would just have to get like nicotine gum or nicotine patches.
Probably
to get my fix. Like
get your fix, yeah, because you can't vape on the plane.
Nope. So but then again, I'm not like 2 hours to Serbia is fine. Like who cares? Like, like I'll just nap. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, but if it's like a 15-hour flight, like
yeah. I've also like never taken a flight that long, so I don't know how that would go for me.
Number one tip, which I think you already employ, dress for comfort.
I'm wearing sweatpants and I look gross. Like, I don't fucking care when I'm at the airport.
Yeah, exactly. Just don't give a single fuck. And then it's kind of like hoping that whoever you're sitting next to isn't annoying. And I recommend every
you're not next to a baby.
Yeah.
That's crying the whole time.
And then I just recommend every hour, every 2 hours, if you can, just stand up and like walk a little bit. Because sitting down for like 15 hours is a long ass time.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I've flown to like Hawaii. I've flown to like Virginia, like DC and stuff like that, and that was like fine. I don't know. I try and I nap, but usually I just end up like straight up just like elf trance.
Yeah, I mean,
I trance.
In general, you'll be pretty fucked up because you don't really know the time of day, and because you're flying through time zones, it doesn't match up to what your brain is feeling. So you're gonna be like, you might just get super tired. Not even jet lag, right? Because you're still in the air. But they do have like a scheduled sleep time. And I forget if it's based on the time zone you're arriving in or based on your own time zone, where they'll turn off all the lights and like close all the windows, and people get like pillows and blankets. Like, okay, like now it's time to sleep because this is what people are used to. But other than that, it's not really anything that different from a regular shorter flight. 2 meals I guess, instead of 1.
Half the time I don't even take the meal on the flight.
I never take the meal. Fuck that. Like, because it's short, but like even on the flight to LA, I didn't take a meal.
So yeah, I would probably take one if it's that long. Like I'll maybe get one if I'm like flying, if it comes with the ticket, right? But I'll probably get one like if I'm like flying to like DC, then I'm like, okay, I'll get the meal.
Yeah, no.
But most of the time it's like I'm not really like, I'm flying out super early in the morning and I'm not like a morning person that likes to eat.
Yeah, no, exactly. I'd rather eat at the airport than anything else. It's just I remember seeing we had three options, no, two options for food, and I saw the options before they got to me, and it looked fucking disgusting. I'm like, I'm not eating that. So I'll
Yeah,
just
that
skip.
airplane food. There's that whole fucking joke about airplane food and shit. It's
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
Usually now they just give you like a sandwich
Yeah.
and like some fruit and a piece of cheese.
Yeah, like that's great, but I think it was like a chicken dish and like a pasta dish. I'm like, and it looked bleh. Like I'm not eating that on an
I
airplane.
would probably still pick the pasta dish, dude. I love myself
it,
some noodles.
yeah, but it looked really bad. Like, ugh. This is I love pasta, but not that one. But yeah,
Possibilities.
hell yeah. But with that said, I think it's time for us to be skippers, dude.
All right,
That time again.
it's that time again to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. So if you enjoyed what we do, if you enjoyed our tangents about what flying and social distancing, and because we're a professional podcast, we promise.
Yeah,
Leave us a
we
like, subscribe,
mhm.
leave a comment to about what's our question this week? What's the longest flight you've been on? Let us know.
Yeah.
And how was it?
And was the airplane food bad?
Yeah. But yeah, I'm if you say no, you're banned.
Perish.
Yeah. I'm one of your hosts, Milan, signing off for the week, joined by my lovely co-host, as always.
Billy.
Hell yeah. Thank you for coming. Well, we'll see you next week. Take it easy. Bye.
Bye.